It's Madden NFL 23. And here's the pick artist himself, Trayvon Diggs.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Cardinals making their way out, and it's the #1 overall pick in 2019, Kyler Murray at the helm.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
First play and a first pass for Murray. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared, but I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Prescott now steps away to his... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Credit for that sack goes to Cameron Thomas. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change?
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there, let him go get it.
Good now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 23. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
A first down carry by Elliott. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Prescott to throw it. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd down and goal. Prescott to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and can you imagine being in that little partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. The kick by Marr is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the 1st down marker. To throw is Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. Here's Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. And, Charles, you look at these 2 teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. different story here, over 20 yards. Now Murray off play action. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. From the gun on third down, Murray. And no hesitation. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. There he goes, left side. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
After one, 17-7 is our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
From the 30 on second down, Murray. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Holding, offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Finding Ertz here on the out route. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks, don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
On second down, Elliott. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This complete to Jones. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. The Cowboys at 9-1 on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jonathan Grenard able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
3rd and long for Prescott. Open man Lamb, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Draw play, Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. This time it's Matthews. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Cards are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Absolutely a golden opportunity missed there to add to their lead and really cap off an impressive drive because they've got the advantage and plenty of time to add to it. But on the flip side, plenty of time for an opposing comeback as well. So when you have the chance to distance yourself not just so early, partner, you know you don't want to let it slip away.
Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Murray. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Down to about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
66 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Now Prescott. This will be caught at about the 5. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so try to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down, but a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down.
Swim.
Murray now. He'll get this to his running back, Benjamin. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, get me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano from the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Gano's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to 13. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
No run back here for Jones, a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Prescott. Flush to his right. That is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Meanwhile, Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From Chicago, we head north to the home of their rivals as we check on the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Aaron Rodgers getting the job done again as the win moves his guys to a terrific 9-2 on the year. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cowboys. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football at State Farm Stadium. And for the call, let's head back out to Glendale and hand it over to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers, he brings out this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, a dump off to Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Throwing, Prescott. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5.
To throw, it's Murray. Forced out to his left. Completes it to Benjamin. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Murray. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from...
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I'd never return. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. He'll pick up 7 there on the 1st down keeper.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Inside give to Elliott. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. After the turnover, here's Murray. His throw incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
He finds McCoy, and he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done.
Right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Cardinals great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Murray going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense takes back over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
And a nice job there skipping away from the 1 tackle and ends up getting 5 yards out of that. 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Cowboys! CeeDee Lamb with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Marr on for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Here's Murray. Dancing to his left. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. Here's Jones on the return. That'll go as a punt of 34. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. 88 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year. And right side, they're going to go option here. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
This is one of the dangers of letting your quarterback run the football. Now, look, he goes through ball security drills just like a running back does, but most of the time the quarterback swings the ball away from his body, and in traffic, sometimes they forget to protect it.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding, offense.
The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, "We don't think you get the first down against our defense by that decision."
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Murray. And my goodness, another interception. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
First down carry for Matthews. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now it's the backup Gabbard. Left side caught by Matthews. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
They run it. It's Matthews. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Now Gabbard. And it's caught. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Now a dump off here complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. And that's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Murray's throw here into the hands and more. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Throwing now is Murray. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw complete there to Moore. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Gain of 11 brings up third and 4.
From the gun, Murray. Flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On third down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 119 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They go to Elliott again. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. They'll give to Elliott. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Cowboys, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.